Hi guys, today I want to talk about how on Semen Retention everything in life is arranged in a way that allows us to get the most benefit and good from it. I want to share my experience in this video because there are a lot of myths and nonsense around this topic. Let's face it, some events really happen to us and some perhaps are made up. And sometimes guys expect that SR is something mystical that'll give you superpowers, that you can almost go into space without a spacesuit. The whole hype around this practice is getting so big and expectations from it are growing. You abstain for 30 days so your aura becomes so attractive that all women will go crazy about you. And tomorrow they'll call you from Hollywood and invite you to star in a movie. All this because you have been abstaining for 30 whole days. Guys, let's get real. Yes, indeed, many positive changes happen in our lives when we are on SR. I can confirm it with my own experience. Some people might have a different experience. Some talk about the supernatural, while others don't see any special positive changes. Let's try to figure out what's the true and what's not today. Most who practice confirm that when you retain, there is an excess of energy. You save energy because a lot of it is lost during emotions, during sexual interactions. And what kind of energy is it? It's emotional, vital energy, what they call in yoga the life force or rajas. From the perspective of yoga, there are channels in our body through which subtle energy circulates. When we retain the seed, it's not just about the substance, but also about controlling sexual desires. It's all connected. I felt when you retain the seed, your energy increases. You can work like a workaholic, go in for sports, exercise, learn something new, absorb large amounts of information, and you feel a surge of strength. I also wanted to say something else. Why can you gain a seemingly large amount of knowledge? It's all about concentration, which increases when you maintain inner calm. And it increases because everything is interconnected. Your moods and emotions become more stable. For example, when you communicate with women, there are constant ups and downs in relationships. It's like a roller coaster. Up and down, huge wave, low wave, etc. Today you flirt with a female and you have a mood boost. Tomorrow you quarrel with her and you have a downfall, and life becomes dull. But when you abstain, things become more or less smooth emotionally. Therefore, energy is not spent on mood swings, but it is preserved. You become more focused, memory and meditation abilities improve. You can meditate on something, and it's possible thanks to the fact that your concentration grows. Because of all this, you have concentration. You can focus on the goals you want to achieve. That is, a sense of purpose appears. You can plan something. Here is what I noticed. Preserving semen, whether for achieving material goals or for the self-development, helps you to focus. And besides, you get a good immune system. I want to share my experience. Over the past 20 or 30 years, I rarely get sick with respiratory diseases. The last time I had sinusitis was before the new year, and this is the first time in 30 years that I have faced such a problem. But in general, during this period, I almost never went to the doctors, so I can confirm the immune system becomes very strong. When you have good concentration and determination, your intuition develops. You begin to sense internal signals from your subconscious more finely, or perceive guidance from above. You start to see how God directs you and begin to understand the signs you receive from above. If you did not pay attention to certain things before, after sustaining your sexual energy for a long time, you start noticing the signs God gives you to follow the right path. That's how it all works, guys. The point is that you control your sexual desire. When it's not under control, your mind behaves like a monkey, jumping from one branch to another. One moment it's thinking about one thing, the next second about the other, and different sexual images pop up. He constantly generates or rather receives these images from somewhere in space and continuously thinks about them. There are constant relapses. And that's not all. Your sexual energy is uncontrollably spent on who knows what, and even seems to flow away in space. You see, when I see a girl in a short skirt, my mind immediately seems to activate. An emotional surge appears. The sexual program turns on, and the mind immediately begins to project different situations and options for approaching and getting acquainted with girls. Where to find them? That is, you start looking for opportunities where you can communicate with women. And I'll tell you more, guys. I used to run a martial arts club. Young girls and women in their 20s and 30s often came there. We even had a women's kickboxing group, and I was always analyzing why these young girls and women needed martial arts. What motivated them to do this? I wondered about this phenomenon, so it was a point of interest for me. One of them used to come to our club and I could feel she wanted to talk to me, but I made no attempt to get closer. Then she found out I spoke English and she kind of approached me and asked for help to study English with her. And this was not an isolated case. Another woman hinted that she wanted to practice wrestling with me. Whether can you imagine that it means? When a sexy girl in a tight clothes wants to wrestle with you, which involves close contact with the female body. It's a trick to provoke you on sexual contact, actually. These girls were a bit surprised and didn't understand why you talked to them in a friendly manner but didn't try to flirt with them. So circumstances turn out in the most favorable way for dating. They see that you're a serious guy and are trying to harass them, which piques their interest in you. Those girls, when they found a boyfriend, they stopped attending club, and I realized that their true goal was not to fight. So most of those ladies, they were looking for opportunities to meet a guy. Because in modern society, despite the seemingly popular social media and the demand for women, meeting a normal decent guy is a significant challenge for them. And women themselves look for opportunities to get acquainted with guys. So guys, SR is all about self-control and controlling the circumstances. They develop in such a way that you have a choice. You don't need to chase women. So if someone is too concerned about this, you can look for a girlfriend somewhere in interest-based clubs. You seem to be doing something interesting to you, and along the way you get to know women. But this is information for those who cherish the hope of starting a family. And when it comes to preserving one's seed, communicating with women is much easier because you keep a little distance and hid their interest in you. And if you really care about finding a girlfriend, then all you need to do is get yourself in order, bring your thoughts and emotions into balance. Go to places where you can meet a lot of females and where you'll be engaged in common interest activities. Since you control your emotional state, you attach less importance to communication with a woman. And start communicating from a distance without showing your interest in her. This intrigues them. Women themselves want to talk to you because they see that you value yourself and are not ready to chase them. The main thing is to create the intrigue around yourself. Communicate with them respectfully and keep a distance. Women are curious creatures. Over time, themselves begin to show interest in you and try to provoke you into contact with them, into conversation. The key is to stay calm and composed. They'll start showing you attention themselves. The main thing is to be polite with them and never try to meet her wishes if you don't want it. There were many moments women approached you. But guys, when you're on SR, you see these things a little bit differently. You develop a sense of self-sufficiency, so some huge dilemma arises. Cause while you've been abstaining, you kept some set of behaviors and distance from women in order not to get arousal. You kind of got used to this style of life, and you realize yourself as a whole independent person. And when you meet a woman, you're supposed to give up this way of life for dating with her. And you begin to think, do I really need it? Going somewhere, meeting someone, spending time on it. You have many plans and now you are not ready to give them up and spend your time with a woman. You don't want to change your life for the sake of her. Well, I'm just saying, the self-sufficiency that SR gives you allows you to see that favorable circumstances seem to align for you. If you want women, there are plenty, and there is no need to chase anyone. We chase our own illusions when sexual energy and desire presses on us. We kinda start thinking we urgently need a woman, and women sense this because they are more perceptive than we are, guys. They shy away from us because they see the arousal in our eyes and understand that we are sexually frustrated. In those moments, we can't see ourselves from the outside because desire clouds our judgment. But these perceptive women pick up on this. It's off-putting. Such behavior may only attract some whores who wanna take advantage of you, or women who are as sexually frustrated as you are, and they are usually inadequate. Many, if not all, of our problems arise from a lack of patience. We want everything immediately, and that's the issue. And when we don't get what we want immediately, we get upset. The universe will give you everything you need, and it's ready to give it to you. You just need to stay calm, because only in such calm state can you make the right decisions. Any decision you make while in agitated state will be wrong. And SR is a means of controlling your mind. Something like that, guys. My subscribers ask me if it's possible to achieve some mystical perfection with the help of semen retention. For example, to learn how to see aura or read minds of people. Guys, what is this all about? It's really possible if you abstain for a year or two, you will suddenly develop some supernatural abilities. Is it really possible? This topic is constantly surrounded by myths, like you are getting a third eye. All this parapsychological garbage has flooded the internet, and there are actually plenty misconceptions about it. I am skeptical about it because most of those psychics, if not all, are frauds. They are info gurus who promise to open your third eye and boost your chakras in a couple of weeks of courses that cost several hundred or even thousands of dollars, or some plausible excuse to pump your money out. Nothing personal, just business. Guys, it's all just a money-grabbing scheme. Nonsense that has nothing to do with reality. They only talk, but they can't experimentally prove their competence. As a rule, people who really have such supernatural abilities don't need money, because word of them travels far and wide, and people come to meet them and donate money to them voluntarily. Google, who was Chico Javier, for example. There were also the well-known name Sai Baba, who was said used to materialize objects and perform many different miracles, but there were only one or two such people on the entire planet. And your 30-day or 1-year abstinence is clearly not enough to unlock such abilities in yourself. Be realistic. But some things that I talk about at the beginning of the video are gonna definitely manifest in you, be sure. Semen retention has great benefits. You won't be able to win millions of dollars in the lottery by guessing ticket numbers because you are supposedly read information. No, friends, SR works a little bit differently. Take for example that Australian guy, Nick Vujicic. I think this person is just a miracle. What he does is a real magic. This person demonstrates that all our problems are in our minds. We create problems for ourselves. In any condition we can have success in life. He has proven that. We are used to seeing cheap populism, or light the light bulb by your willpower, or something kinda like that. Oh guru, tell me whether I was a giraffe in my previous life. All that stuff. No guys, we won't be able to light bulbs by preserving the seed. And we won't gather a crowd of onlookers and earn millions. If you wanna make miracles, there is no need for SR actually. Like for example how David Copperfield does it. It's all just a show, guys. Show makers. Hollywood, in short. So recently LA has been on fire badly. I'm really sorry about that. SR is a mean to find an inner peace, how to enjoy the present moment. We already have everything we need for happiness within us, because we are Atmans, particles of God, and we create our own reality. Well, that's about it, guys. I think I've said everything I wanted to say today. Put down in comments what you think on all this. Take care of yourselves. Thank God. Bye.